Hello, and this is my first time on YouTube Live. I don't know if anybody's here or not. I haven't advertised this. This is completely, let's have a go. Let's see what happens. Who knows? I have no idea. It says here up at the top, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay. My privacy is, I live somewhere in the UK. So that's where I live. Right. For those who have not known me, seen me, have no idea who I am, welcome to my world. My name is Emily Baker. I am a complementary therapist and spiritual medium and psychic artist. I've also created my own cards called perceptionary cards, which are non-prescribed, i.e. they're just left for your imagination. Oh, I did have a person watching me. Hello, whoever was there, and then went away. So yeah. Oh, comments. Oh, lovely. So yeah, that's what I tend to do. I do enjoy doing the mediumship work. Loads of people have questions for me normally about the mediumship work. That's the bit that enthralls everyone, kind of going, oh, do you get to see dead people? Yes, I do. It's most disconcerting at funerals, especially my own family funerals, because they tend to talk to me just about before I'm going to do a eulogy. Very disconcerting, I can tell you. So that's what happens there. Let me just close it. Okay. I'm just going back to that. And yes, so they do tend to talk to me, and the worst one was actually my aunt's one, because she along with my grandparents were sitting next to me, and I wanted to stand up and say a bit, and she was telling me how beautiful the church was and the pulpit was and all the rest of it, because it was beautifully mosaicked, I have to say, and she did love the church, was really great. And then I had to stand next to her and talk about her, which is really quite disconcerting. But yeah, so do our loved ones, the other common question I get is loved ones can't come back for over a year. And or why is it that my loved one isn't speaking to me? Why is, those are the kind of like the common questions. So let me just answer a couple of those kind of things. Firstly, in my experience, and I can only talk from my experience, I am not going to talk for the whole populace of those of us who are mediums. The time span of when your loved one comes through to somebody is variable. My father came to me after he died within, I suppose, 10, 15 minutes. My brother also got to see my father as well, and he actually went out for a walk with him, which is lovely. So that was within a few minutes. I know that I have given messages to people and have told them of somebody who's standing in the doorway, wanting to talk to them. And she said, oh, I'll go home and phone them. They're fine. They're absolutely fine. She got home to find out that he'd actually passed away. So can it take a year? Can it take minutes? Can it take hours? It's really variable. It is a case of that the medium, i.e. myself, there has to be a connection of some degree with that person. And they also have that free will of whether or not they want to come through and talk. So if it's a case of that the spirit doesn't want to talk to me, that's fine. Okay, I can't pull through a message for you. I'm not dial a person up. I can ask. By all means, I can ask. I can say, yeah, I can feel someone in the background. I don't know if this is the person that you're wanting to connect to at all. I cannot give you that guarantee that I can pull through your Auntie Mavis or your grandmother Maud or whatever to come on through. It doesn't often work that way. The reason why, okay, for years I wanted to speak to my dad. Okay, he came to me right at this point of passing, and he came to me then. But then it was another good 5 years afterwards. In fact, longer than that, simply because I was so attached to my dad that I would get so upset, and wouldn't listen to the message he had to give me. no, that just went out of the window. I was just like, oh my God, is that? So anything that he had to give me, I wouldn't listen to. So it was everybody else. And eventually my dad came to me in a dream, and that was his way of kind of coming as close as he possibly could. And I did, and to this day, I remember that dream so vividly, because he walked away crying and I woke up crying as well, because he was asking for forgiveness. You know, it's as simple as that, asking for forgiveness. And I remember saying, and it woke me up from the dream, saying, there's nothing to forgive. And that's when I woke up. But I remember saying the words out loud. So dreams of your loved ones where they feel incredibly real, that's because for me, they are real. So I would take it as your loved ones are there and are being real and close to you. So if there's anyone who has any questions or anything, I have yet to figure out, speaking the truth here, because it's my first one, who knows, that, you know, if anybody wants to say anything or kind of ask any questions. I don't know how to connect Facebook and YouTube together, because, you know, they're kind of sort of similar, but not. I don't know. I've yet to figure that one out. I may need 2 devices. For the technophobe that I am, it's quite interesting. Right. The other thing is perceptionary cards. I was going to talk to you about perceptionary cards, and I know it's coming up to Valentine's Day. Valentine, actually, he got beheaded, got beaten up for converting a couple of people in their faith. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, got beaten up. Around about AD 270, just for that useless piece of information that you may want for a Christmas cracker or a Christmas quiz or birthday quiz or whatever it is, kind of quiz. Anyway, but it wasn't. He died on February the 14th, so he was kind of beheaded and killed on February the 14th. However, he has nothing to do with all of the faith and, you know, the hearts and all the rest of it. Probably because he's the only saint that died on that day. So these are the perceptionary cards. And just a quick gaze over. I do have a website, emilyjbaker.com. So these cards are non-prescribed, so that they can go any which way around. Really brightly coloured. I'm just going to randomly show you some. Ones like that. Are they big? Yes, they are. They are a 5 size, I think, as well. All of the artwork is mine. So if anyone's deciding to copy my artwork, don't. Just like to put it there. So yeah, that's all of that. So there's the perceptionary card. So they can go any which way around. There's 49 of these in a pack. Times that by 4. I've got over 190 cards there that you can use. And randomly pick another one. There we go. Oh, let's go for that one. So here's one that looks quite purpley and blue and all the rest of it. So it's a case of you using your imagination, opening up. I automatically can see like an elephant. That's just me. That way around, a blue elephant. But if I turn it around this way, I might get to see something different. Not too sure. There is something different, but I haven't quite figured it out. So it's figuring out what way round feels the best way. Sometimes when you have the card closer, you can see much more detail and different things. See, it automatically looks different from here to here, and it looks different. And that's what I love about these cards as well. Just kind of gives you a different perspective of things. See, now I can see a person up here, kind of like a playful kind of character, nymph kind of, or a fairy, or, you know, along those lines. So it's quite playful. And then it's deciding, you are reading into the symbolism of things, you're deciding what the colors mean to you. I have not got a book to go with this, because we're all individual and we'll all have a different perspective on what I get to see, you may not get to see. So that's why I'm actually pointing out bits and pieces here. And I can still see that figure. So if I turn it up that way and have it a little bit closer, I might get to see a little bit more detail. So again, I can see another face here. this looks like somebody's upside down, but it looks very rigid. So again, it's all about having that perspective. I've pointed things out to people and they can't see them. So I can see a person here in the background. I can see a kind of like another person just here. Sorry. There we go. There's the head. And I know that I've looked at these cards, and suddenly the more that I've looked at it, other things have cropped up. And I've given readings using these cards, and literally people have literally popped out of the card and disappeared again, completely disappeared. I put the card back and I won't get to see that again. So that's feedback that I've had from other mediums who have used the cards as well. So I think that's the wonderment of these cards. I never expected to have that happen with these at all. And it's I love them. I do love them. Absolutely, obviously, because I made them. But it's not about that. It's more of a case of I created them so that people could use their imagination, so that people could explore what they already know and don't have to be told. You have the Doreen Virtue set of cards in this world, and they're fine. They're absolutely fine. And I've got packs of Doreen Virtue, and I've got Farmer, I think David Farmer, I think it is, as well. I've got sets of his cards. Then give you a book about each page, and I go to a group, and in that group we use cards and we read from the book and everything. Absolutely fine. They all packs of cards have their place. Absolutely. What I'm saying is I came across, at the time of creating these cards, a lot of mediums who were just reading from the book and just spouting out what it says on the card, not really looking at the card. And I found as well, my problem with the cards that are prescribed, Doreen Virtues, where it says positivity and blah, 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 it has a little phase at the bottom of it. That's it. That's where your mind is. It's not actually looking at the card to give you any further information to expand on it. It's done, it's dusted. That's what it is. And I really wanted mediums, and for those who are entering into the spirituality, them wanting to know about themselves, to explore about themselves, and to actually have a tool where they could go, oh, well, this makes me feel like this, or this color. I mean, if we have, going back to this card here, if we look at this, people might say, oh gosh, yeah, that really reminds me of granddad or dad. Or it might remind you of, the great aunts, or a time when someone's sadly passed away, because purple is a mourning color. Traditionally, it would go from black for the first year or 6 months at least, and then they could go into purple, and then from purple, this is the ladies, hasten to add, not the gentlemen, and then from this is UK, and then from there they would go into lighter colors over the next couple of years. So they would range from this color all the way up to this color, but it was a sign of mourning as well. So it's kind of, is that what it triggers off in you? Is it reminding you of perhaps lavender fields that you went on a holiday and you saw this, or perhaps it was a blue sky? That's the other thing. What is it that triggers you? What is it? Is it looking at this little bit of green? Now, green for me has a spectrum. So we can start off with the yellowy greens that we have early on. The lighter shade going all the way to the dark. So starting at the lighter, I always say that's about learning and being inquisitive as that first bit of like, oh, where am I? What am I doing? That light bit there, a very light bit. And as it's moving into the darker, that's about learning. It's about learning about yourself, about your environment, about schooling. It's about whatever it is, but that's learning. And then as we get into the darker part, it's wisdom, because you've learned that. Now we've got to use it. So it's your wisdom bit coming through. And then when it gets to the really dark part, that's when it comes into healing. Because with that, we learn that where we hurt, or we learn where what hurts us, or what it is that we can learn to heal ourselves in whatever way, or perhaps those around us as well. So it could be, it can be read either way, but it's looking at it. You've got that little bit of there, so that's being inquisitive, wanting to find out more about what's going on. See here, I can just see this frill, a frill going around here, and a ruff, Elizabethan ruff, that the Spanish and the English used to wear, that ruff going around there. And Queen Elizabeth, bless her, and actually Henry VIII would actually bejewel them. Well, why not? Hey, I've got loads. We'll put some on. But yes, so they used to do that as well. Looks like a little animal there. But it's kind of saying, oh, okay. So for me, it's this card. It keeps on coming back about being playful, but kind of cheeky, inquisitive, wanting to find out more. I'll dip my toe into this. Let me find out a little bit more. So that's what comes across in this card as well. So that's how I read the perceptionary cards. I've also got a whole load of artwork to go with that as well. So original artwork. So that's basically me, just a quick introduction. So the complementary therapy, sorry, I haven't talked about that really, really quickly, because I don't want to babble on for too long. I do aromatherapy and reflexology, and both disciplines I love. Obviously not able to work either one of those disciplines at the moment, finding ways around it, doing a little bit of experimentation at the moment, which is good. Friends have liked some of my experimentations. I've just got to decide whether or not I want to go along with those experiments and expand on product ranges, or if I want to start a product range in that as well. So for me, it's about playing. It's all about playing. And that's, for me, this is what about lockdown is here in the UK, and learning about what it is I do and don't like about my business, what bits I enjoy. Actually, I really love doing these lives. I really enjoy doing lives. Do I enjoy doing videos? I treat the videos as a live. Yeah, not editing. But yeah, so if you're wanting to find out more about what it is I do, if you've got any questions or anything like that, please send me an email, send me a message, something like that. Love to hear from you. Love to find out a little bit more. Please do. And I'm going to try to schedule in how to do both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That would be fabulous. Possibly not. It may be a case of coming onto YouTube and then going over to Facebook. I don't know. So see, it's all a learning curve. It's good. It's all good. So I've enjoyed being on here. It's been really, really nice and simple, really easy. I've enjoyed that for anybody who is coming on to having a look to see what YouTube live is like. I found it really simple in a way that Facebook and other ones haven't been. So that's my feedback. I've enjoyed babbling on and talking. It's been fun. My website is emilyjbaker.com. My perceptionary cards are on there. Perceptionary art is on there, all for sale. Look forward to seeing you shortly, and perhaps later on this month. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.